Now, interestingly, having just landed in Hong Kong, I'm realizing that there are some of the big organizations that offer AI do hide it behind a VPN. So if you want to access Copilot, Microsoft, Gemini, Google, ChatGPT directly, I would recommend purchasing a VPN. So something like ExpressVPN that will allow you to have your internet basically pretend to be in a different country, such as the US or the UK, where all of the AI is unrestricted. However, fortunately, I have a nephew. Great to have younger generation to say, hey, in Hong Kong, by the way, you can actually use POE.com or PO.com. So you don't need a VPN to use this currently in Hong Kong. So if you want to play with that, that's also a good option to access directly to one of the latest versions of ChatGPT if you're in Hong Kong and you don't happen to have a VPN available. One thing I've found that we can all use ChatGPT for is image creation. And about 6 months ago, I ran a talk at the Rotary Club of Kingston upon Thames and wanted to show off the capabilities in terms of generating images. So if we're creating flyers for some of our events, if we are generating posters, these types of things, ChatGPT and the various other versions of AI, such as Copilot, can do a pretty good job of generating images. This was about approximately 6 months ago. So if you notice, this is the Rotary Club of Kingston upon Thames celebrating their 100th anniversary. If you look a bit closely, you do find that people tended to have extra fingers, perhaps there might be an extra arm. The images weren't that great. However, today I did try and test that exact same prompt again. And the image creation is much, much better. So in just a few months, the quality of the images has improved by leaps and bounds. This is something I'm finding across the board with all the different AI tools and apps that I'm using. So if you just have a look, so this is exactly the same prompt, Rotary Club of Kingston upon Thames 100th anniversary celebration. Just notice that the difference in the quality of the images. So this is version 1 6 months ago. This is now version 2 about 15 minutes before we began this meeting. The quality has jumped by leaps and bounds. This is using DALL-E, which is the main image creator through Copilot and also ChatGPT. There are also other fantastic tools that you can use, such as Midjourney is one of the most famous ones. So in terms of generating images and working together with other Rotarians, I was lucky enough to be part of an event with a group of facilitators and trainers that we ran in Zhujiajiao just last week. One of the team members created this image and said, hey, this could be our logo. And I said, I think I can probably get AI's help to make a slightly better logo for all of our t-shirts for our trainers event where we all got together. And this, I typed in the prompt. I said, put together a logo for this event called Liftstock. It's the 2024 networking event. Interestingly, if you notice, the image generators have difficulty reading words. It's not the way in which they work to be able to produce exact lettering at the moment. So what you have to sometimes do is actually create blank space to allow you to place words in. So this was version 1, and then somebody else said, hey, how about we add a Volkswagen bus, make it a little bit like the original Woodstock, and we need a kayak because that connects us, because we're going to go kayaking in Zhujiajiao, just outside of Shanghai. And so these were the different evolutions of the different inputs that I was using to generate the imagery. Somebody said, hey, let's make it a little bit more like the original poster for Woodstock. And so this was close to the final version. You can still see just a few elements of the image that aren't quite right, such as the license plate of the van. So I decided to edit it myself using an image editor. One of the coolest things that you can actually do, once you've got an image that you really like, you can actually reverse engineer this image. So what I did is I took the final image that everybody said, oh, this is fantastic. I then I put it back into ChatGPT and I asked it to create a very detailed prompt that would help me recreate this image. And what it did, it came up with this very, very, very detailed prompt that I could then copy and paste back into ChatGPT that would allow it to regenerate other images that were very similar. So this is kind of very strange, but ChatGPT is actually better at writing prompts than we are. Because the more information you feed the AI, the better quality the output in terms of defining all of these parameters. So if you see a beautiful image somewhere in Hong Kong or Uganda or wherever you're based, take a photograph of it, put it into ChatGPT and say, hey, please give me the prompt that would allow me to recreate this image, and it'll create this very beautiful detailed prompt like the one you can see on the screen at the moment. So that was then able to allow us to generate this final image that you can see here. And I had a little bit of editing, and this then went on everybody's t-shirts and looked fabulous. It took, in total, with many different people talking through and adding ideas, about 45 minutes from zero to this. And everybody got involved, and everybody said, I like this one. Yeah, how about change this, add a kayak into it. And so it's a really nice way that what would have taken probably a few days back and forth with a designer plus lots and lots of expense now can be done very, very quickly indeed. So definitely using, for all of your Rotary events, definitely using the image creation. So how do we create a good prompt? We need to add as much useful information as possible. So instead of just saying something like make a list of charities, we want to add, where are the charities based in the Kingston upon Thames area, in the Hong Kong area? And why do you want that information? So for example, I'm helping to run an Interact Club. My daughter is currently the president at our local school. Why do you want the information? So that our Interact Club can choose the most impactful charity to support. Now, this was really useful for us because suddenly then ChatGPT goes, ooh, Interact Club, this is for teenagers. Now it's going to connect this group of teenagers with what are some of the clubs in the local area, also what are some of the charities in the local area that could have the best impact. So we were working with Food Bank, which was great because we were collecting lots of food to donate to Food Bank in the local area. But the trouble is with Food Bank, they weren't able to allow the teenagers to then distribute the food to the people who really needed it because of safeguarding, etc. So ChatGPT said, have you tried Barnfield riding stables for the disabled? And that happens to be a local charity who run a riding stables where the teenagers could help out. We could help muck out the stables. We could feed the horses. We are going to be painting the riding stables next month on May the 4th. So this is a really nice opportunity for all of our teenage Interact Club members to dive in and to help with this organization. Much more interactive, which is what Interact Club's all about, than the Food Bank, for example. So we give it examples that can help us. We give it how many do we want. We want 10 charities, for example, and then we can add the style, source, what to include, what to exclude. So, for example, include an explanation as to why the charity makes an impact. So if we have a look at the results, make a list of charities, it's very generic, very general, doesn't really help us very much. But if we create a prompt that says, make a list of 10 charities in the Kingston upon Thames area so that our Interact Club can choose the most impact, etc., 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 it creates a much, much better list. So it's all about adding quality information on the front end to allow much better quality of delivery on the back end. So please do spend time building your prompt, adding details, that's going to make the output much, much more effective. Okay. If I just tried it the other day, I said, give me a list of charities. Now ChatGPT will actually ask you more details as well. They say, okay, you know, which specific sector would you like the charities to be in, health, education, etc. And again, you know, give it more details, then it's going to produce much, much better results, as in this case. Okay. So our Interact Club decided that they would like to go for a trip, and they would love to visit another Rotary club in Paris. So one thing that I would recommend, itineraries are fantastic. If you use AI to help you create a really effective itinerary for a trip. So, for example, we're going to take our Interact club for 2 days to Paris for the first time. None of the team members have ever been there. So what are we going to do? And it starts creating this very, very detailed itinerary for us. It even includes the budget, which is fabulous. Plus, it will give us a breakdown of the locations, and we can feed it with lots more information as well to make it even better, even more specific, and include other elements such as we know, in the evening we're going to join with the Rotary Club of Paris, and give it even more detail. But I would highly recommend that. One thing I would say is integrating AI into your life is going to help it become much, much more effective. So, for example, I went to Morocco this past February half-term holiday with my wife and kids. And I wanted to do some activities that were not just the normal activities that you'd find on TripAdvisor. And I wanted my kids to experience a charity where they would be able to see around and kind of get a bit more hands-on and learn something new. So I asked ChatGPT, and it said that actually there is a fabulous charity called the Jarjia Donkey Sanctuary just outside of Marrakesh. It's about 25 minutes drive away. There's a lovely, wonderful Manchester lawyer who retired a few years ago. He was planning to open a hotel, built a building that was going to be a hotel. And then one of his friends said, oh, we have some injured donkeys is there any chance you'll be able to look after them and put them on your land? And he got 10 injured donkeys, and within about 6 months, his 10 injured donkeys had expanded to about 50 donkeys. He now has 172 donkeys that he looks after. And he showed us round. We took a full tour. You know, we got to join 25 injured dogs who were also part of the donkey sanctuary. And it was just a fabulous opportunity. It also helps us find an interactive pottery place where the kids could actually get involved in making some of the pottery. If you upload the image, for example, the bottom left-hand image that you can see there of the this bowl, I wanted to know how much I should pay for it, because I didn't want to haggle. Haggling so tiring in the market in Marrakesh, and it said you should pay approximately $15 for this bowl. That would be the normal price to pay if you were in Marrakesh. So great for finding out kind of the prices of things, and that gave me a good guide. And it also helped us to find this cooking school where the kids could get involved, and we learned how to cook Moroccan food. And so all of these were supported by me jumping onto different versions of AI, whether it's Copilot or ChatGPT, and just asking, hey, what's something fun that we could do? AI is also fabulous at creating quizzes. So create a 20-question multiple choice quiz for young teenagers on the topic of Morocco. Over dinner, I tested my kids. They got to compete against each other. The winner won a nice prize. I think she won some bubble tea, which is her favorite prize. And very simple, but it can come up with some brilliant interactive games and ideas. If you are running a Rotary Club event, have AI come up with some really nice quizzes, games, interactive ideas to help you do a bit of team building, along with your normal Rotary Club events. It's great to have support of AI. They can come up with lots of really nice ideas. One of the best resources that I've found available on the web is called futuretools.io. This is a collection of thousands, 2,684 tools currently that are available. Many of them you can try for free. A lot of them will give you credits. If you sign up, it will allow you 50 credits per day, and you can use the AI tool for free twice or 3 times per day. And then you have to wait for tomorrow for your credits to refresh. If you love the tool, you're finding it really valuable, then you can pay a subscription and you can use it. There are tools, for example, where you can have the tool create a song. So if I can just showcase this for you right now, there's loads of fabulous different tools, but one tool that I absolutely love and I've been using a lot recently, if I share my screen and I also share my sound, I might be able to do this. If you can see suno.ai, suno.ai /create. You do need to sign up using your email address, but once you've done that, the results are really rather impressive. So the song description, you can just give it a prompt or a description such as create a fun song for a group of, that's right, Rotarians from around the world who love learning new things and sharing over Zoom. Okay, so I'll see what comes up. I'm going to click create right now, and we'll see how quickly it's able to create a new song. So it is using ChatGPT at the back end to create the lyrics to the song. It's also using a number of different song generators, plus an image generator to create the song cover. And it puts together lots of different elements. It will put the lyrics together, and it also puts the music behind it. So you can see it working away right now, and we'll see if it's able to create it in time for this meeting. So if I click on the screen here, it's called it zooming around the globe. So I think I'd prefer it to have created something that said more about Rotary Club. But let's see if it can play the song for us.
We're logging on from different zones, the world's our classroom. Rotarians united, exploring each virtual Zoom. Sharing knowledge, making friends, it's a global click. Learning and connecting, no matter our physical distance.
Feel free to dance.
From the tropics to the Arctic, we embrace diversity. From India to France, we share our expertise. In our virtual meeting room, we break barriers and walls. With open minds and open hearts, we answer every call. Zooming around the globe, expanding our horizons. Learning together, our thirst for knowledge never dies on. Rotarians united, bright minds shine through. We're zooming around the globe and we're reaching for the truth.
Okay, so that took what, 30 seconds?
That's like the new Rotary song for this.
You know what? This is now our club song. Okay.
Yeah, this is now the new song. So will you download
Moving
it?
around the globe. I think we need a better title than that, but
Yeah,
yes.
It's so good.
Right? And there's so many tools like this. And you know what? Every week it's changing. So one thing I've found so many people do is they've gone to ChatGPT, they've typed something and said, do this for me. And it's come back and the quality has not been very good. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep changing your prompt. Keep coming back to it. Maybe next week it will be better. Keep adding to your prompt. Keep playing with it. Keep pushing, because some stuff is just phenomenal. So I think I've probably gone a bit over time there. Apologies to Gabe, who's going next, but just wanted to share that. You know, there's so many cool things, and I think the Rotary clubs around the world could really benefit from lots of fabulous stuff that we can do.